When I first got appointed here at London Correctional, Will Ellaby and I think Bob approached me about a Compost project here at London. So myself, Stanley Taylor, Deputy Warden Stanley Taylor, we went up to Al and we said, you know what, this is something that we can do here. And the reason why we want to do it here, we want to give our offenders meaningful life skills when they get released. And some of the certifications that you'll hear about out of this program are things that are ready the day that they're released. So before I get started, I want to talk a little bit more about the agenda. We have our director here, ODRC Director Annette Chambers-Smith. And we have Director Lori Stevenson from the EPA. And we have Mr. David Andre, who's over the project of Go Zero, and Ms. Langhouse as well. So thanks for coming, guest. I just want to give a couple of thanks real quick. Bob Newman and the crew at ACI, thank you. Thank you for your support. ACI, Mr. Havlin, where's Mr. Havlin? Thank you for letting us borrow Bob. You can have him back now, we got it. All right. Jacqueline and her team at recycling, I always call you recycling. Sustainability. Thank you as well. You know, you've been with us, you've been helping this project go through, and she's actually a champion for sustainability. The team at London, we put a whole team of our staff together to really make this happen. And like I said, it's been about a 2-year project, and we try to get as many people involved as possible. But we're happy that this day has come, so we can keep moving forward. The Office of Business Administration, you guys helped us out a lot. The funding and the money and all that, so you guys did a great job with that. Mr. Will Ellaby, of course, we went up to go in front of the board and present this project, and he was very supportive of that. Mr. Ed Banks, he's been my boss, Regional Ed Banks, has been very, very supportive when it comes to what we're trying to do. He's been very nosy on the project because he wants to see the project become successful as well. So we thank you for that. Pardon our mess. We got a little bit of a mess here. We got this building a few months ago, and we're trying to do some remodeling and some fresh paint things, so you might see some dust on the wall and paint and all that. But pardon our mess on that, please. Again, this is going to be a great day. It really shows the fruits of our labor right now. It's a very interesting project out back. I think you'll be, pretty amazed at what they got going on in such a short time, because we opened up, a month ago, 2 months ago, and I mean, they're doing massive amounts of food recycling from, major cities, and they'll go through that. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our director, Annette Chambers-Smith.
I was thinking about what to say, and of course they gave me talking points, right? And those of you who know me know I don't ever say the talking points, so I won't change that today. But what I was thinking about, and some of you have been around a long time, we started many years ago in DRC starting to take care of sustainability issues. But maybe you don't know kind of how it started. So there was a sergeant named Bev McKinley at ORW, and this woman on her own decided DRC was going to be recycling. And she got to the point where she would basically snatch a pop can out of your hand before you got the last sip, right? And she was at ORW, and then she got a group of incarcerated adults involved with her. And then she kept pushing, and then she found places to sell what she was collecting, and she kept pushing and pushing. But what was interesting is Jenny Hildebrand, is Jenny Hildebrand here today? Somewhere? Yeah, there she is in the back. Jenny Hildebrand and I were deputy wardens at the time, and we were both watching her do this. And flash forward a few years, Jenny Hildebrand and I were both in the Office of Administration for DRC. And we were like, we need to do this here. This is going to save money. This is the right thing. But I don't think it would have been on our minds if we hadn't spent so much time with Sergeant McKinley. And I'm telling you, she was vicious. Put stuff in the wrong container. She was coming after you. She really did turn that facility into a facility that was recycling before it was like in vogue. In the last century, not this century. We're a little older than we look. And one of the things we started out doing is trying to say, let's just save money. So we were delamping, and we did solar projects. And then we found out we were the state in the union that was the farthest ahead on sustainability, period, of any prison system. And then we started trying to do things that went beyond just recycling and started, growing butterfly habitats and just, what are those ugly little creatures, Jenny? Yeah. Really unattractive creatures we started sponsoring inside the prisons. And, you know, it gave the people who lived in the prison a purpose. It gave them training and things that other people don't even know how to do yet. And then we just kept growing. And at one point, we were able to avoid a layoff at the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction because of the savings of our sustainability efforts. And just this year, we opened up our first LEED certified building in the Department of Corrections. So if we can do it in DRC, you can do it anywhere, we've proven. And now we have other states constantly talking to Jacqueline and Jenny Hildebrand about duplicating our programs and our partnerships. So I think we've come a long way and we have much farther to go. There's more things we can do. And this is an exciting extension of that. I remember our first Big Hannah, now we have 9. This is our second Class 2 composting, but soon ORW will have theirs. I don't know if Bev McKinley will come back and christen it, but that'd be kind of cool. But you know, we continue on in this path because it makes sense for our environment. It makes sense for the people who live here, right, in the prisons, so they can have this skill set, which, by the way, people are hiring our people because we program them around this. They're not just doing the grunt work, you know? And, you know, here we are saving money for the department. So it's very positive. It's a good day. And I was telling Sue, my God, we didn't have this many people. And we named off several different very important functions, but this might be the biggest group of people we had together outside of the memorial or something. It's like great to see this much interest. So without too much more information, wait, I got some time. Okay, $1.4 million we're spending on trash a year. A third of that is food waste. And that's after we put the Big Hannahs and have done all the things we did. So prior to that, it was more like 60% was food waste. And that's 17,000 tons of waste a year that DRC makes by ourselves. And now this composting facility will not only service these facilities here, but also the region, which is pretty cool. So we can help our neighbors be better as well. I'm now going to introduce Director Stevenson, and I'm also going to thank Go Zero, who's our private partner in this. The most successful things I think that happen in government are usually well thought out public-private partnerships, so I really thank them.
You can be pretty loud, but can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. It's also good, so I have talking points as well, which eventually I need to get to, but I appreciate the fact that I'm going to ad-lib a little bit as well. First of all, I think my main role here today is just to congratulate all of you, really the teams here today, not just the team here at this facility, not just our team at EPA, but the larger collective team and the partnership that is developed around what's a pretty exciting time to look at alternative ways to manage material that still has value. So I really appreciate the effort. I want to thank my team personally. I see several people here today representing EPA, and would you mind just raising your hands really quickly, please? I so much appreciate my team and their long-standing vision within the agency to push myself and others to think outside of the box and really think about how we as EPA not only define our role in the world of sustainability, but how do we support the efforts of all of our partners who are out there interested in doing really creative, innovative, forward-thinking things. So I really appreciate my team and the level of effort that they've put into this and how I know they will work with all of you moving forward. So we appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you very much, Director Warden, for having us here today as part of the ribbon cutting ceremony. I do have a couple of quick facts that I'd like to share. In 2018, over 65,000 tons of food scraps were diverted to composting facilities throughout Ohio. We encourage this practice to help reduce the amount of materials that would otherwise go to solid waste landfill disposal. We understand that this new facility in London has the potential to process close to 20,000 tons of food scraps in a year. Ohio EPA was glad to award ODRC with a 2018 Community Development Grant to support the purchase of composting equipment. But I think what's really exciting is the opportunity that ODRC is taking to use these facilities as a way to train people in skills and resources to develop them to potentially have jobs outside in the growing composting industry. So that nexus and that add-on is quite exciting, and we really commend you for those efforts as well. Again, we appreciate the opportunity to be here today. We congratulate ODRC for its commitment to sustainability. We look forward to continuing to work with all of you in partnership on other projects and innovative ideas that not only help improve the environment, but also improve the quality of life for others. So thank you very much, and we look forward to this afternoon.
And I think, maybe not so much statistics, but a couple thoughts I'd like to leave you with on the day is that they talk about how our children are going to have jobs in the future that don't even exist. And I think one of the exciting pieces for me is that the jobs that are being created, the things that we're inventing here as a part of this facility and as part of what we're doing in Go Zero, these are those jobs. So I just get excited at getting a chance to be a part of that day in and day out. And I think they talk about how the future exists today in pockets. And I think that this facility and this program very much represents something that's going to become more commonplace in the future. And I think what you're going to see in the course of our taking the tour this afternoon is a window into how we as society manage our food waste more responsibly. So again, thank you so much for coming out today, and excited to do more and more and more. You haven't seen anything yet. We're just getting started. Thanks. I'd like to introduce Teresa from the institution here and Jacqueline from the Office of Sustainability at DRC.
All right, Teresa and I are here to wrap it up so you guys can get to the fun part of surrounding yourself with food waste. I think you've heard it from everybody up here, but something that we just wanted to take a moment was to thank everybody. I remember being at the Allen Oakwood facility a little over around this time, about 2 years ago, and we were getting the grant application signed for this project. So 2 years, and now we're here. Long, interesting road, but something I think that we've all taken away is the amount of people and the amount of support that you need to get something going like this. So that's from grants management, that's from, budgeting, that's from security at the institution, that's from grant dollar. There's a lot of people involved, and just community support, having the buy-in from the community around you and getting people to want to bring food waste to you. So there's a lot of people that are involved in this. So I would say, this isn't just, our project, but this is everybody in this room's project. So thank you. And at that, I'll pass it on to Teresa.
Yes, we at the London Correctional would like to thank everybody for coming out. I encourage you, we're going to start the tour now. I encourage you to see the site, the composting site. So I'll direct you out towards front, the TC building. There'll be 2 12-passenger vans if you would like to see the site. Once again, we thank you for coming out.
You take the trash from the facility.
Yes, ma'am.
They separate it in there for you?
No, they bring it out here. We look for non-compostable items, cans, bottles, aluminums. When we see them, we remove them. Everything else we mix with a 60-40 ratio with the hay and food waste, and we put it on the pipes.
Okay.
And obviously make
So
compost.
does the hay just give it more, is that more like of a bulking agent, or is it also used for odor control? Or
Yeah, the hay we use for the carbon, we get carbon out of it. We use it for a bulking agent, and it helps with the odor.
Right.
If there's, we got a lot of odor, we add more hay to it.
Oh.
Depending summertime, we use a lot more hay. In wintertime, we really don't use that much. It's more of a bulking agent.
That's interesting. We were talking about that.
Yes, ma'am. The whole process is very educational. Like to see from the start to finish, it's amazing. From, like I said, from the product to go into a waste field or landfill to something that you can sell, and giving us the opportunity to learn things. Like I learned how to weld and all the education stuff to operate equipment.
Did you go through that sustainability program they have?
I did a program through Ohio State University for composting, got 2 certifications through that. If you take the initiative to learn this, you get confidence in yourself.
Well, I think what's great about this is, like you said, we're going to only see more and more composting out there in the world, because that's the direction we need to go in. So, and it's not, like you said, it's science.
It is. It's really
You have
neat.
to learn it. I mean, it's not just something anyone could do without learning it. So hopefully this gives you the opportunity to just
get jobs.
maybe use that.
Oh,
use those
absolutely.
skills.
I'm Barnes, Go Zero, Bungie, they all offer me jobs when I get out.
That's awesome.
And then we also at Oak, we also learned they built a lab. They put a lab out there, Allen facility. So we're not only making compost, we're testing it.